Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are in a 2021 current generation Lexus GX460. We're off-road in the Mojave Desert, and today I'm going to talk about what makes this Lexus GX460 so safe. Now, I know I'm off-road right now, but when I talk about the safety of the GX460, this is for all the people out there that are interested in the Lexus GX460 but aren't really going to go off-roading. So keep that in mind, that when I'm going to talk about what makes this special, this GX460 so special and safe, I'm talking about on-road, okay, not off-road. So if you're considering the GX460 in order to go back and forth to work or commute or whatever, what have you, on road, pick up the groceries, go to the mall, go to the soccer games, all stuff we do, by the way. This applies to you. All right, let's get right to it. The Lexus GX460 is a rare vehicle in that it has a special safety system primarily for on-road use called full-time four-wheel drive. Now, the key word here is full-time four-wheel drive is to make it safer on road, not off-road like I'm doing now. Even though I'm in full-time four-wheel drive, because that's what the car defaults to, it's primarily an on-road safety feature. Now, what is full-time four-wheel drive? Simple. All four wheels are going all the time. That means all four wheels are getting equal amounts or relatively equal amounts of power right now. It's actually got a 60-40 split. 60% power in the rear, 40% in the front all the time, on road or off road, but on road when you get in and drive it. That's what it does. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Every car today comes with all-wheel drive, whatever, who cares, right? They all have all-wheel drive, don't they? No, they don't. And that's going to be the point of today's conversation. Believe it or not, this Lexus GX460 is only one of a handful of cars still left on the market that has a true full-time four-wheel drive or a true all-wheel drive system. Here's what I mean. When the name, let's say this, the name all-wheel drive that manufacturers use to market all-wheel drive cars is not something regulated by government and is essentially a bit of a misnomer. Some might even say it's misleading, because here's what I'm getting at. Most all-wheel drive cars don't have the wheels going, all four wheels going at all time. Indeed, they default to two-wheel drive, and then they will only send power to the rear when it thinks it's needed. In other words, when it senses that the car is slipping or sliding or in a loose traction situation. What that means is when you get your typical all-wheel drive car, you don't have all-wheel drive for real. You're getting on the road and two wheels are going. There are some systems that market as all-wheel drive that will put a little bit more power here or there on road. But generally speaking, most all-wheel drive cars on the market today default to two-wheel drive. So your all-wheel drive car is really a two-wheel drive car on the road. That's not the case with this car, which has a true mechanical center differential. Not a viscous coupling center differential and not a clutch pack center differential, but a true torsion mechanical center differential. What that means to you is all four wheels are going simultaneously all the time when you're on road. And this is what I mean by the safety of that. Most people think when they get, I'm getting an all-wheel drive car, it's very safe, all four wheels are going. No, you only got two-wheel drive. And yes, it is arguably safer than a true two-wheel drive car if you get into a slippery situation on road, because you will get some power to the rear. But what makes this true full-time four-wheel drive system in the GX so much more safer is you have all four going all the time. That means you're already set up to dominate, for lack of a better word, slippery on-road situations all the time. There's no case where this car needs to figure it out or stop or send power one way or the other or do any sort of electronic tricks or wizardry in order to get you the best traction. Instead, you have all four wheels going all the time. So if you're concerned about maximum safety, again, on road, then you're going to want to consider the Lexus GX460 and its full-time four-wheel drive system. This car is great for those who are safety conscious or safety concerned, or those individuals who have been in an accident, whether you were hit by someone on road or you just slipped out on road, or you live in a crappy, weather environment, such a place where it snows all the time, whatever, place where it rains all the time or does a little bit of all that all the time. This is what you want if you want that maximum traction and therefore safety. Don't be fooled by most car manufacturers' claims of all-wheel drive. They're truly what the industry used to know as slip and grip systems, which means, again, they will not go into true all-wheel drive on road unless they sense slip. So you can imagine the advantages of having a true four-wheel drive system like this GX460 that's going all the time. Now, there used to be a day where all-wheel drive meant four wheels going all the time. That was back when they first came out with those Quattros, those Audi Quattro systems, and the early Subarus that did have a true center differential. But over time, manufacturers sneakily, if you will, strayed away from that, kept calling it all-wheel drive, and they changed those true full-time four-wheel drive systems like this GX into slip and grip systems, aka part-time all-wheel drive systems or as-needed all-wheel drive systems. So the vast majority on the market today are part-time four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive systems on road. Now, this by any means is not the only full-time four-wheel drive car, but you should be conscientious of what you're buying when you are considering an all-wheel drive system for safety on road. This car indeed is not the only full-time four-wheel drive system, but it's only one of a handful, and I do mean handful of cars. I'll give you an example. The 4Runners don't have full-time four-wheel drive except for the one trim called the Limited Edition. The Limited Edition has the same center differential in this car. The Land Cruiser has a center differential. The Lexus LX has a center differential. The Tundra does not have a center differential. The Sequoia does not have a center differential. The Tacoma does not have a center differential. The Jeep Wrangler does not have a center differential. The list goes on and on. The Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon does have a center differential. So literally, there's a handful that have a true mechanical center differential. And so it's one of the advantages if you're on the fence about a GX460 and what's the big deal about this full-time four-wheel drive? Isn't that just all-wheel drive? Is it worth the extra cost? Yada, yada, yada. Now, you're getting true tank treads, if you will, when you get a car with a center differential. And it's impossible for me to go down all the list of cars that, don't have it or claim to have it or are perceived to have full-time four-wheel drive but don't have it. All I can say is seriously, this literally a handful. In fact, I think the cars that I just listed, the G-Wagon and the few Toyotas and Lexuses that have full-time four-wheel drive, I think that's it, honestly. And there are cars that market something called 4Auto, and that, or some other, Jeep calls it Select Track or some other name, whatever. The point is that those aren't actually true full-time four-wheel drive systems. They have either a viscous center differential or viscous coupling or a clutch pack system where there's some slippage in that center differential, which means your four wheels are not truly going full-time all the time. So the manufacturers are really truly getting a little bit, they're using a lot of liberties when they talk about their full-time, in quotation, four-wheel drive systems. Now, I'm not saying those systems don't work or they're not good or they're not safe. What I'm simply saying is they're not truly the real deal, and thus affording you or providing you with the absolute maximum level of on-road safety. These are truly special vehicles. Some might say they're a dying breed with this full-time four-wheel drive because, as you might imagine, the center differential and four wheels going all the time adds a layer of expense, number one, and probably more importantly, number two, it eats into the gas mileage because you truly do have four wheels going all the time. I know I keep repeating this, I'm just trying to drive the point home that most other cars don't have that happening. And the advantage to those other cars is it's going to save on gas mileage, and that's why all-wheel drive in quotation cars and 4-auto in quotations and fake full-time four-wheel drive cars today are truly not full-time because it gets way better gas mileage. That's, you know, an advantage of those cars. But if you're looking for true on-road safety, if that's important to you, do consider the Lexus GX460 or other vehicles that have this true full-time four-wheel drive system. It will provide you with the most utmost safety, and for some people that's very, very critical and very, very important. So if there's anything I want you to take away today is don't be fooled by the word all-wheel drive or full-time four-wheel drive or full auto. There are literally only 5 cars on the market today that have true, or at least SUVs that have a true mechanical center differential. Incidentally, the car version of this, the Lexus LS, the car version of the GX does have a mechanical center differential for full-time four-wheel drive in a car. How awesome is that? So when you look at that flagship Lexus sedan, you're like, what's the big deal about that? It's just a sedan. Why is it so much? It has the all-wheel drive version. They call it all-wheel drive for whatever marketing purposes on that Lexus LS. But that sedan has the same center differential as this GX. So indeed, that has a true full-time four-wheel drive or true all-wheel drive system in a sedan. So this car is out there, but let's say there's about 5, maybe 5 to 8 of them in reality. And there are some Subarus, not all Subarus, that do come with the true center differential. Anyway, I rambled enough. The point is, double check your all-wheel drive system before you go ahead and drive off the lot thinking you're good to go and you got 4 wheels spinning all the time and you're as safe as can be. All right, if you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a great, great day.